Sean in the pregame. And you when you go into that building, there's a comfort level that exists. There's a confidence that exists there. And I think that showed in the first half of this game. This game came out, they get hit in the mouth early with the big long pass there by Bo Nix, but they methodically kept it a running game, kicked the field goal, scored the touchdown, and just kind of have this sense that they are comfortable with who they are identity-wise and the fact that they're not going to push any panic buttons because time is on their side. And I think it is their time now. And we'll see, because the matchup that's going to be a big identifying tell will be from week 4, the Baltimore Ravens.
You said time is on their side. It certainly was. 41 minutes, 43 seconds of time of possession. They ran 30 more offensive plays than the Broncos. One of the other things Sean said in that interview you did with him prior to the game, Coach, they know who they are.
Yeah.
And it was clear with how they game planned today. They were going to run the football. They were going to play physical up front. And then Josh was going to come off of that, and he did in the second half, kind of going out there. On third down, Josh Allen, 7 of 8, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, perfect rating, 158.
Yeah. No. He was a beast, obviously. And, you know, this was the game that if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you expect, right? Like, you're obviously excited, you're pumped, you're fired up, you're happy, but you also you're like, yeah, I expect this. Josh Allen now has the record for the most total touchdowns in the wild card round. But as you were able to see at the bottom, you know, it says all other opponents in the record in the last 5 postseasons, 6-0 versus Kansas City and Cincinnati, 0-4. And that's what this is about, right? This is the Super Bowl year. This isn't, hey, we're just happy to win some playoff games. And because, I mean, like, what more can you say? I mean, it was dominant. Josh Allen was 20 for 26, 272 yards, 10.5 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, a 135 rating, 8 carries for 46 yards. The team as a whole was 39 for 200. Right, over 40 minutes of time of possession. They were 8 for 14 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth. They did get punched in the mouth in that first game. You know, I wouldn't say it was a punch in the mouth. It was more of kind of like a whoa, you know, like a wake up. And, you know, the score easily could have been tied at half. It ended up being 10-7, I think, with that missed field goal. And there was no panic. There was no one tried to force anything. Josh Allen didn't try to force any plays. They showed their maturity. They showed their experience. They showed that they've been in the postseason the last 5 times, the last 5 years. You know, they know that. They've been here before. And that experience really came forward. There was a moment when the Broncos had a little bit of momentum. I think it was in the fourth quarter where it was like 4 first downs or whatever. It was like every single play led to a first down. And at this point, you still felt really comfortable that the Bills were going to win this game. You weren't, you know, like it was still a big enough lead. But they didn't allow it. They didn't allow the Broncos just to march down the field, score a touchdown, and then there you go. And now it is, you know, I think it would have made it a 14-point game. And then it's like, I don't know, you force a 3 and out on Buffalo. You know, it's just like those things happen all the time. The Buffalo Bills know it. You know, they saw that even just a weird situation like that against the Lions, for instance. Even though that game was far out of reach, it still ended up being like a 2-point game. And you just never want that situation. And so it was smart. McDermott called a timeout. And what was the next play? Tackle for loss. Like, that's the growth. That's the maturity that's them showing their experience that they've been here before. But again, you can't over celebrate a win like this. 31-7 against the Broncos. I think the Broncos are a pretty good team and a better team than even this score shows it to be. But again, you're at home. You're going up against a rookie quarterback, the Denver Broncos, a lower seed. Like, your sights are set on the Ravens, the Chiefs, and whoever comes out of the NFC, right? Like, your job is to now go 3-0. That's really what it gets boiled down to. Because again, like, anything short of this, you're like, what the heck just happened? Like, you expect this. You expect this level of excellence. You expect this level of quality of play. And so I think this was a great spot for the Bills. They seemingly got out unscathed. I know a couple players got banged up, but it doesn't, at least to my knowledge, doesn't seem like it's anything too crazy. But I could be wrong on that. It's always hard to really know what's happening throughout that process, throughout the game, with a couple of people getting banged up. But yeah, man. I mean, it's all about Baltimore now. That's really what it comes down to. It's on to Baltimore. and then obviously beyond that. But again, all in all, really great, complete game. The one thing that I would say that doesn't give me concern, but again, I always try to find the positives and the negatives of every game, no matter what. They were 1 for 4 in the red zone. And that's one of those things that you want to see them be able to really lock in more. You can make the argument that they should be 2 for 4 in the red zone because of the penalty. Or not the penalty, the lack of penalty, I should say, the lack of holding. Those things happen. It's unfortunate. And also, I'm not sure if they were officially in the red zone on that final drive when they just essentially, just took a knee and called it quits. I don't know if that counted towards that as well. But still, early on in the game, you want to see them be able to really come away with touchdowns. 10-7 at half. Again, they ended up obviously going up big, 31-7. But I'm always looking at this point when you're talking about a team like the Buffalo Bills, how great they are. And this is what I said in my Texans video as well. It's like, I'm thinking next week now. I'm thinking to a much serious, a harder opponent. I'm looking for the Texans, for the Chiefs, and now obviously the Bills for the Ravens. And I just think to myself, okay, if they play this level of ball, can they beat the Ravens? Can the Texans, they play their level of ball, can they beat the Chiefs? The way how the Texans played, they were not beating the Chiefs. That they did not play good enough. Can they beat the Chiefs? Sure. But in terms of how they played against the Chargers, 100% not. This right here, 100% so. But again, you're going to be going up against a much better, opponent against the Ravens. I mean, they were able to dominate the time of possession here. Dominate. The Broncos were 2 for 9 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth, 0 for 1 in the red zone, and had the ball for 18 minutes and 17 seconds. You're just not going to expect to be able to do that, obviously, against the Baltimore Ravens. So, but I just love the game plan of the Bills. They were simple, they were aggressive but conservative. It wasn't anything fancy or flashy. It was just, we're better than you, so we're just going to play regular football. Like, we don't have to do anything crazy. We're just going to play football, and we're just going to be better than you at it. It's literally that. Like my one coach used to say, the team that wins is the team that plays, catch and throw the best. Catch and throw the best. Throw and catch, pass and catch. Why can't I think right now? I'm trying to rush through this because I'm trying to get these videos out before the next game. And the team that throws and catches the ball best will win the game 9 out of 10 times. And that's what they did here. That's what they did here. They took care of the ball. They took care of everything. The Broncos dropped a handful of passes that would have kind of changed the flow. They had to rely on a fake punt to keep a drive going. And, this is what you expect. Again, Josh Allen hitting 8 different receivers, which I always love. He wasn't the leading rusher in this game for the long. I made a couple videos recently saying that he was, the leading rusher in 7 of the last 10 playoff games for the Buffalo Bills. So to have that not be the case here is a welcome sight. And yeah, I mean, it's just, it is always tough when your team this great, like the Buffalo Bills, with a quarterback as great as Josh Allen. It's like you celebrate a win like this. You're excited, you're happy, but again, you're also like, okay, well, it's a wild card round, right? We're on to the next round. We have way bigger aspirations than this. We're not going to celebrate like we just won a Super Bowl, or that we just overcame some insurmountable odds here. We expect this from ourselves, and so it's like, yeah, you know what? We still got lots of work to do. So again, as a fan perspective, it's always kind of like a little bittersweet because you're like, that's right, 31-7, Josh Allen dominant, but then you're just like, all right, but it was against the Broncos. Let's keep on keeping on. So always an interesting feeling in these earlier playoff games when your team, again, as great as the Bills and Josh Allen have been. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Buffalo Bills dominant win, 31-7 over the Broncos, and Josh Allen's, continued excellence, record-breaking 18 total touchdowns in the wild card round, highest ever. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.